Okay guys, I'm doing a bit of experimenting. The rest of my supplies came this morning in the post, and I've had a wee look at Jason Breach's video on Axminster. Uh, he has the Eccentric Chuck. I have had this Eccentric Chuck for about 5 years now, and I haven't really used it much. Not down. So that's that. Let's see where we're getting now. Okay, we'll just go for it. See what happens. Turn the speed down because I turned it up to clean that. You want to be about 700, 800 each. Right, go over that. That's about 3 mil, I think. I'm a bit close to the edge there, but we're just going to go with that. We need to move the tool rest forward to make that, the whole tool rest forward this way to fix that, so it's not right close to the edge, but we'll just go with it and see what we'll get, because we'll probably end up turning it off. So we're going to go round 2, just going round two positions this time, and see if we can get it to work out this time. It's always a learning curve on new tools and stuff. So you wanna, where's our wee block? Your block can be any size you want. It's just to make sure you have the same spacing here and here as you tighten that up, and then it keeps that parallel. What I done too was use a square squared off the bed of the banjo, so when I'm nice and 90 degrees to the bed, and I'd straighten this up so that it's in line with the banjo, and it's so when you come to put your wee block in here, you can be sure that's not sitting off to one side like so or like so. You can be sure it's in the right position. Just loosen back up again and move that round. That's right. Just hit that again. So we're going to be starting again here. Right, we'll see what this gives us. It's exciting, isn't it? All right, okay, here we go. Nice and gentle. 2 to 3 mil. That looks all right. So we can spin that out of the way. Once you get going with it, I think it'll be just like everything else we do in wood turning. It's just setting the jig up, get it set, and just go with it. So here we are going on our third cut. Okay, let the lathe get up to speed. It's nice because that's holding that nice and steady in there. You're getting nice clean cuts. See that? Okay, so we can turn that out of the way again and just lock that down, and that's that. Let's see where we are now. So we haven't moved any of this here. All we have done, we have set this up in this position. To bring that in here, see the way it's close to the outline, what you would have to do is either move this or just push the banjo forward a wee bit, and that would take it away from the edge. Right, so I didn't want to move it all again because I had already set it up for this position. Right, so we're going to cut the next circle. There we are. Ooh, it's getting very okay. We're ready for the next circle. Okay. So you want to keep all your cuts the same. So I think we've one more to do, which will fill in that space there, and that'll be that pattern, because we brought it round 2 positions at a time. Just we tap on that, and I think this is going to be the last one to complete that row of circles. Yeah, it is. We'll see what we've got. Okay, there's our pattern, guys, and you can see it's all nice and crisp. Even these wee bits are nice and formed. There's a few wee bits of straggly wood there, but Jason used a bristle brush to brush all the wee fuzzy bits off, and then he used a taste of sawdust he had gathered up, the powder stuff, really fine stuff, with a wee taste of epoxy, and filled that in with it. 15-minute epoxy. He did demo this piece over on our club when he was over a few years ago, and that's when I first decided I wanted to get one of these chucks, because I like the idea of creating a pattern on the lid of a box. And as you can see, it can be any size. It doesn't have to be a box. This could be the inside of a bowl. So it could. The bottom of the bowl, you're putting a nice effect into it, and then you're going to fill it with a coloured epoxy, and you can do it with anyway. You can use Azapon, Milliput, any of those, or anything you want, really. So I'm quite happy this worked out. Buying these and buying this, and everything's worked out, because I was a wee bit worried on Tuesday night when I bought this new tool post and tool rest, because I wasn't sure of the rings. Sam doesn't sell the rings. I had to get those from Axminster, and there's a couple of different sizes. So I knew that tool post was 1 inch thickness, and this here was I forget what that was, but anyway, we just got the corresponding thing. See, I was thinking I could just go and put the tool rest on top of that, because that swells off. But when I took it up to the woodshed on Tuesday night, what I discovered was the theta bar is not all the same size as these here, which Robert Sorby make. It has to be a bigger, a diameter or a thread. So I had to buy a new tool post, so as well, and that's why I went down that route. Otherwise, it would have just fitted onto this one. More expense, So, same all the time. You want to do something different, yeah, it's more money. But you can see there's a bit of runoff in this. This thing is not cut right, but it doesn't matter. This is only to show you that the possibilities of using the jig and what you can do with it. So when you take that off, all you have to do is take that off, put it in the drawer out of the way, and when you want to use it again, bring it out. And the only thing you'll have to uh, change will be the position of these. So when you do your cut, you're not going to be right out the head. So you could be in this side of it, and that would be a better size to be coming off for a couple of circles, you know. So I just thought I would share that that there with you guys, and I hope I explained it for well enough that you understood. If you didn't understand it, go along to YouTube and look up Axminster or Jason Breach. I forget what you call the series of videos, but you'll come across the Eccentric Chuck, and Jason Breach is demonstrating it, and he will show you uh, the setup more or less. But what he doesn't tell you is about drilling the extra hole in the piece. It was only after some footering about with going back and forward and watching the video, and I had followed everything to the letter, you know, and I just didn't catch it straight away. But when I think it was the fourth time when I watched the video, I twigged on there's a second hole, and that's how he got this pattern to come out here. Without that second hole, you wouldn't get that pattern out here. You could only go as far as that the original hole would let you go there. So in reducing the pattern, I don't think it's essential to have the second hole. I think I just done it because he done it. That was what I was trying to replicate what he done. So that's the only reason I drilled the second hole in the jig. But in saying that, it's alright. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, I will be doing more with this. I'll get out tomorrow and do a bit more experimenting with it, and maybe get some inlay put into it as well, and see what it turns out like. But I've loads of wee blanks over there. There's no use in using good wood while you're testing this out. I've a load of stuff up there. It'll do for practicing on, and these were wee maple blanks, and I'm not going to use any more of those. They're for projects. But anyway, guys, I hope that was of some use to you. If not, I'm sorry. I try to demonstrate it the best I can, and so that you can follow on. Now that I've done that and set that up and got the size of the colours and stuff, and you know, all you have to work out is the size of your tool post and the tool rest itself, and then put that on that. So that should be okay. And order the correct size. As I said, I had to modify these three rings just slightly, about a millimeter and a half to take off them. They're made of aluminium, so they will cut with your parting tool. I used the round nose bar parting tool to do that, and it done it no problem. Just took my time, and I cut about a mil and a half off it, and the slit on there first time without any effort. There's a wee slit in those, and there's a wee grub screw in there, so it tightens up. It doesn't allow that to move. The fact that this is in this position here, see if that was over, see you didn't keep that, and the orientation, it's 90 degrees to the piece. You would be lying like this here. So this was where Jason introduced this wee block to show you that, and that makes it 90 degrees, and you're to the headstock, so you're going in. The other thing you would have to make sure of is your piece is uniform and flat, or else you would have a light cut on one side and a deeper cut on your side. And when you want to sand or cut this back and sand it, you might end up coming into your cut which wasn't deep enough. So that's where I think it's good to have this set up 90 degrees to the banjo and 90 degrees to the headstock, so that you're nice and in line with that, and then introducing your tool and it's coming in parallel with that. It's true then, and there's no movement in that. There's a wee bit of movement in that because I wouldn't that, but you know what I mean. It's not going to go all over the place as long as you go straight in with that piece and you're holding that. That's not going to move because these rings are holding it in place, which is good.